Hey guys, it's fall here in North Carolina. We're starting to see some cooler mornings. Our leaves are starting to change, and that brings about my favorite time of year. And one of the best places, in my opinion, that you can go right now is up to the mountains. Go up to Asheville, Banner Elk, Blowing Rock, Boone, wherever you prefer. But today we're gonna take you on a quick weekend road trip with my family and I up to Blowing Rock. Stick around, we'll get right to it. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Driving Triad, where we talk about everything lifestyle, real estate, and golf in and around Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Today, I want to take you on a quick road trip with my family and I for a long weekend up to the mountains just outside Blowing Rock. Had tons of great activities for the kids. The fall leaves are starting to change. We were just a little bit early on that, but if you go now, it's the perfect time. Go up there, check it out, let us know what you think. So as I mentioned, my wife and I took the kids up to Blowing Rock. We rented an Airbnb. We got there a little bit early on the first day, so we decided to go to Tweety Railroad while we waited for the house to be ready. We spent about 3.5 to 4 hours there, which I'd imagine is about the amount of time you want to budget for something like this. And if your kids are over the age of 10, something like that, probably gonna be maybe a little bit too young for them. But $60 a ticket for adults, $40 a tickets for kids. 3 and under is free. Really neat experience, steam-powered locomotives. They had cowboys coming on and off of the train. They had the sheriff there trying to chase down some outlaws. A really cool experience for them. They also had all sorts of different carnival rides, you know, the tilt-a-whirl, teacups, a small little roller coaster, and a little chairlift that rides from the bottom of the mountain up to the top. You know, you get to see some great views. Kids were really into that. All the way at the very top of the mountain, also, they had a little petting zoo with goats, llamas. They had some emus up there, you know, something where the kids can just get up and close with the animals, spend a little bit of time. They had a great time there. The food was pretty good as well. Like I said, it is $60 for adults, $40 for kids. While that might seem a little bit steep, all of the carnival rides are included with your admission there. So if you go to the local fair, something like that, you probably end up spending that much money anyway. We weren't really sure how our kids were gonna, you know, gravitate towards it, but they absolutely loved it. Even our daughter, who's a little bit tentative about things, loved the carnival rides. She couldn't get her off of them. She was just going nuts. So if you have younger kids, ours are 4 and 6, highly encourage you to go check that out. Had a really good time. After Tweety, you know, we just went over to Blowing Rock there and went over to Mellow Mushroom for a nice casual lunch, sit outside. And the little downtown area of Blowing Rock is really cool. Take them over there, get some fudge, let them go play in the playground, all that good stuff. They had a great time that day. So day number 2, we went for a little bit more excitement outdoors, hiking and things like that. Again, took our neighbors with us. We went over to Rough Ridge Trail to start the day off, going right off the Blue Ridge Parkway. And it's right there near the Lincoln Viaduct, which is the bridge you're gonna see all over different tourism brochures and anything that is the mountains there outside of Boone and Blowing Rock. You're gonna see that iconic bridge all over the place. Some really fantastic views there. It's a pretty steep hike. If you have somebody with limited mobility, I wouldn't really recommend it for you, but we got up there with kids. We had 1.5, 2 4-year-olds and a 6-year-old. We made it all the way up. You know, the 4-year-olds had to be carried a little bit, and obviously the 1.5-year-old was slapped on her mom's back for the whole time. But about 3/4 of a mile up and back, so about 1.5 miles round trip. Once you get up there to the top though, it is just 360-degree views. Fantastic for all those Instagram posts and things like that. Absolutely a must do if you're in the area. Highly recommend it. After that, you know, we got the kids back in the car. We took them over to Linville Falls. You can park right there at the park for Linville Falls. And to go ahead and get to those waterfall views, you're again about 3/4 of a mile hike in and out. So by the end of the day, our legs were burning a little bit, but it was totally worth it. The kids had never really been up to the mountains before, so hiking and things like that is all new to them. But they had an absolute blast being able to see that, you know, you can see all those different mountain ranges, all the Blue Ridge in the distance. So day number 3, before we headed back to civilization and life as we know it, we decided we were gonna spend the morning at Grandfather Mountain. Grandfather Mountain, if you're unfamiliar with it, Google some pictures. There's a side profile of the mountain, almost looks like a man's face from the side, but fantastic. Over 2,200 acres, I believe, in the park itself. But if you drive all the way up to the top to start, You've got the mile-high swinging bridge, which you guessed it, is just over a mile in elevation. And there's just fantastic views and vistas from up there. You're up really with the clouds. You can walk out across the bridge, go out on the rocks, sit out, and you just feel like you're on the edge of the world right there. For the East Coast, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. And then it has all different kinds of animal habitats as well. Back in the 80s, I believe, they started trying to help the black bear populations get back to where they needed to be. So they were participating in breeding programs and things like that. They don't need that anymore because the black bear populations are where they need to be, but you still got habitats for black bear. They've got a couple, they've got a mountain lion, they have several elk, otter, a bald eagle. Most of these animals are ones that need care, are not going to survive out in the wild, but pretty neat habitats as well to go ahead and let your kids check out. And there is also an interactive museum in there. There's like a 3D map of all the different hikes that you could do up there, which there are some fantastic hikes. We were pretty much worn out from the day before, so we didn't do any hiking that day, but they've got some pretty advanced hikes too if you're interested in it. They also had some interactive displays on how the wind interacts with the mountain faces and different things like that. So your kids get to go ahead and throw these little scarves into the tubes and see them coming out of the top, because those winds can really pick up and get up close to 100 miles an hour up there in different faces of the mountains. So they get to see, what those winds look like in real time. They had some geodes and other things like that for different mineral deposits and that the kids can check out. It was a really neat little museum that is relatively new up there. Would definitely encourage you to check that out if you're in the area. So since this is a real estate show, we're gonna take just a moment to talk about our accommodations. We had a great little 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house, about 1,800 square feet. It had a nice screened-in porch on the side, a big deck on the back, fire pit, hot tub, you name it, we had it. Not too big to where you feel overwhelmed, but enough room to spread out to invite the family next door. So we had 8 of us there, including the kids, 2 bunk beds in the 1 bedroom, a queen bed set up another, and then in the primary they had the king bed there. Fantastic little spot to get away from. It was purchased in March of 2023 for about $570,000. And our 2-night stay there cost us a little over $800. You'll see a lot of that in the Boone and Blowing Rock market, where people will go ahead and put their homes up on short-term rentals. So if you go up there, you really enjoy your stay and you want to say, man, how do I spend more time up here? Potentially look into the viability of a short-term rental for you to offset the expense of some of that mortgage, and it might be more affordable than you think. That's pretty much all we've got for you today on Driving Triad. We appreciate you sticking around for another episode. We hope you enjoy the fall. You got football, you got the changing leaves, you got cooler temperatures. Have a great time. If I can help you with anything real estate related, please feel free to reach out, 336-582-9210, or shoot me an email at joel@sandmanrealtync.com. See you soon.